Why do I say that trusts are not for everyone in Texas? Well, for one thing, trusts are great if you have $15 million or more and you have to worry about estate tax. That just doesn't apply to most people I know. Trusts are great if you have property in another state, or if you have a child that will never be able to manage their own money, then you probably need a trust. There are many different kinds of trusts, but trusts are not great at avoiding probate, which is the main reason that people think they need a trust. People come to me all the time and they're like, I have to avoid probate, I need a trust. Okay, why do you need to avoid probate? Oh, because it's expensive and it's time consuming. Not really, not in Texas, not if you have a good self-proving will. In fact, I can get most people through probate for less money than it costs them to create a trust. So you're not saving money, you're not avoiding probate, because most people don't put all their property in the trust like they're supposed to. They'll run into hiccups with homesteads oftentimes. They take their home out of the trust, or they never put it in for one reason or another. So when they die, their house does not belong to the trust. Or they'll forget about some stock certificate or some other account that they have out there. Anything that you have that the trust does not own, you don't put in the trust name, it goes through probate. So you have not avoided probate at all. In fact, everybody who creates a trust should be getting a will along with the trust. Well, why get a will if you're not going to use a will? Because it's there as a safeguard for whenever you forget about putting things in the trust and you have to go through probate. Then you've got the will that says, if I own any property, it goes into the trust. So if it does not avoid probate, it does not save you time and money, it does not do what you thought that it did, why are you getting a trust? I sound very negative, I know, but there are many documents that you need besides a will when you do your estate plan, and I'll talk about that separately. And just make sure that you talk with an attorney who gives you all your options and explains why they think this is the best option for you. I can tell you, based on your size of your estate and the type of property you own and the family situation, whether a trust might be good or whether an LLC might be good or whether you might just need a simple will. There's different options. For some people, they just need a transfer on death deed for their house and a survivorship agreement on their bank account. That avoids probate just as well as a trust. It's a whole lot simpler. What are the downsides of trusts? Well, for one thing, they're very complicated. You're going to get a notebook, a big, thick document that most people don't want to read. Most lawyers don't even want to read the trust. And so they get this document, it's scary, they don't know what they're supposed to do, they don't know what it means. And that's, what's going to govern your estate plan and how you're supposed to handle your property for the rest of your life. Also, the trust is something that is not overseen by anyone. You better name a trustee that you really trust, because if the person who's in charge of the trust steals from the trust or doesn't manage it according to the terms, unless the beneficiary is savvy enough to realize what's going on and the beneficiary complains and files a suit in probate court, there's nobody that audits the trustee. The trustee can do anything if they're not an honest person. And whenever you set up a trust, most people will name one of their children as the trustee over other children. If you have multiple beneficiaries, that one trustee is managing what they perceive as their money and keeping them from their money. And it just causes friction and a lot of family arguments. And I see a lot of families suing each other, trying to remove the trustee because they're not happy with their brother or sister. They may have been perfectly happy, harmonious siblings while you were still alive, but when you put one of them in charge of the other one's money, it's not a happy, harmonious family anymore. So it's causing family conflict. It's really complicated. and it doesn't avoid probate, and it's not overseen by anybody. So it's, a situation where you might want to look at another possibility.